Welcome to the Trash Cats Trashcast. I'm Richard.
I'm Steven.
And today marks the end of our 8th cycle, which means 32 whole weeks of podcasting gold, or at least 20 or so.
Dude, it's been flying by, man.
Yeah, it has. I still really enjoy it, though. That's the fun part.
Definitely. I can't imagine being a normie without a podcast.
Right? Not being a social media influencer. Not being a published individual. We need to go on Instagram and get those little blue check marks.
Oh, that ain't happening anytime soon. They just fucked us over this week.
Just tell them, look, we have our own podcast. This is us. Here's a picture of me.
Hey, we're raccoons. Verified. Actually, one of the big artists we've looked at before, he recently posted something about how messed up verification is for visual artists, because it's like he has like 100,000 followers and he still has trouble getting verified on most platforms. But if you're like a rapper with like 2,000 followers, 5,000 followers, whatever, sometimes you can. It's like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
I mean, I'm all for the rappers getting verified too, but it's hard.
It should be. Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah. So, freestyle episodes are always chill, good vibes.
Yeah, man.
You want to kick it off with how your week was?
Yeah, it's been good. I did get drunk this weekend. I got this usually like, so I used to drink a decent amount when I worked in like heavier restaurant settings.
Yeah.
Like almost every work night after shift, I'd at least hang out. You know, I might have had some drinks during my shift, but I would definitely hang out afterward, after like cleaning and everything, with the bartender while they're cleaning the bar, and like, you know, just do fucking shots of whiskey and shit. And I haven't been doing that. I've been drinking like maybe like once every couple weeks, like a drink every weeks or so.
Yeah.
And I went over my cousin's house this weekend and all the adults were playing, you know, I'm the youngest person there at that point besides the nieces and nephews and shit, but they're all playing drinking games. And it's like walking in with my piddly 3 beers. Like, this is going to last me the rest of the night. I'll be good. You know, I'm going to get turned on these 3 beers. And then they're like, oh no, we got more. Don't worry about it. Here, drink. You know, like whatever game it was, I just kept getting fucking fucked over on it. So
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. And then we were just hanging out talking shit, and it was a good night.
Do you
and I didn't even get hungover the next day.
Damn, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Do you like it more like how often you drink now, or how much you used to?
Now.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, I definitely think about it every now and then, like, oh, a drink would be cool. And then it's like, no, that kind of sounds like I'd feel gross afterward.
Yeah.
I think more about like, oh, I need to drink water first. And then by the time I drink water, I'm like full. And it's like, all right, I don't want to fucking drink alcohol now.
It's so weird. Like, I mean, I had got into my own drug shit for a long time, but if back in high school we knew we were going to do a podcast all these years later and we'd be saying like, oh, it's kind of cool not getting drunk all the time. Like, you fucking losers.
You fucking posers.
God, we used to party hard,
God
man.
Damn. Dude.
It's funny. It's weird how shit changes, though.
It really is. I was for sure when I was young that like, I'm always going to smoke weed. Like, till the day I die, I'm smoking weed like every day.
I thought you were going to say crack for some reason.
Yeah. I'm going to be smoking crack till I die, son.
And it's coming.
Oh, God damn. No, like, almost immediately after high school, like my intake just dropped to nothing. Well, part of that was also because I moved to Florida and it just wasn't readily available.
You've always been goal oriented too.
Yeah. And well, then I moved to Canada, and I bought a gram of weed off somebody because of my tolerance was trash. And I was like, this will last me. That's fine. That's all I got cash for anyway. And, sure enough, it lasted me like a month because I taken one fucking puff on this dope fucking whatever the shit it was. And it was it would destroy me.
That's funny, man.
Yeah. So my tolerance sense has always been trash.
So good 4th of July.
Good 4th of July. Slow work week. Other than that, it's been fine.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
It's been okay. Right now, I'm itchy as fuck. I got poison ivy, spider bites, and chigger bites all over my body. And then
nice.
Yeah, and then I got sunburnt yesterday. Pretty decent.
Hella cool.
But overall, I'm doing all right, man. It's been chill. Just, like lots of kind of shitty stuff going on, but I feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did hear back about that job interview, and maybe that's given me some hope. Like, my life's been changing a lot, trying to go a different direction. So even though things still might be kind of shitty on a daily basis, I feel better about things. Like, I know things are becoming and going to become vastly different. So
yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
Definitely. So I made it to the final round of this job position, and then I got an email when we were talking the other night, and I was rereading it, and I guess they want to offer a handful of people positions, but they need to make sure they land this big client first. So I don't know what that means. They said soon, but that could mean, because I assume there's contracts and shit involved. That could mean 6 months. So
yeah,
but I still feel good about it. And then today, I cleaned my fucking car out, dude.
That always feels so nice.
I think it's the first time I've done it with this car.
Oh wow!
So like it used to.
How long have you had it?
At least 3 years.
God damn,
no,
boy!
It's the second time. So it used to be a joke. Whenever I'd clean my car, I would find something I needed, which in the past was always drugs. So I cleaned the car out, and it felt really good. But dude, I think I finally got all the blood and glass out. It's a brand new car. There's no visible blood when you enter. There's not mud everywhere. The only glass you can see is in the air vents, which sometimes blows on your face if you have the AC too high. But
dope.
It's looking good. I feel good about it.
Nice. I assume the glass was from a windshield that had gotten busted.
Yeah, I punched through it.
Oh, cool. Nice.
It was a fun night. Yeah.
Sick. Fucking A.
So what's going on?
Oh, man.
Shit. Do we need to do honorables?
Yeah, we got to do some honorables.
Okay.
I do have one. I didn't have it put on the thing here, but I'd like to give an honorable mention to my nasal spray for making it possible for me to podcast.
Bro, you hit
without.
I love it. You hit that every episode.
But let me get a.
Ooh, them nose clams.
Oh boy, them nose clams, boy.
It really is a good sound though. It
is it actually?
It feels good.
We can edit it out if it's not audible.
Get addicted to it. All right, I got one. This first one's a really small one, and I saved it for like a week because I thought you would like it. And then I got a little news story for later, and then we're gonna do our outro. I got some sweet music for us.
Nice.
So this first one, this is like the coolest pin I've seen in a while. What's the Bible story where dude gets eaten by the whale?
Oh, God damn it. I know exactly what you mean.
I know.
The one you're talking about.
I'm just blanking. That was always like one of my favorite stories as a kid. So I know you're a big
fucking name.
I know you're a big fan of the enamel pin art kind of stuff. So this company that made this is called Strike Gently Co. At Strike Gently Co. One word on Insta.
I'm a big fan of theirs already.
Are you?
I have a shopping cart full of things that I haven't bought for like the last 6 months.
Nice. Honestly, when I was researching, I couldn't find out if they were like a legit cool company for the artist because I couldn't find the name of whoever designed this specific pin, but they seem like they sell really cool stuff. And this particular one, it's like a black and gold Like instead of being eaten by the whale, it's a skeleton in the belly of an anglerfish in black and gold, and it's just so fucking dope looking.
Yeah, it's real metal looking. It's dope.
Yeah, like it's so cool when you see tiny art and it like feels important still, you know?
Mm-hmm. And the details of it, I like that too. Like the details are like the line work, you know, some of the details like that. It's not, there's 3 colors, you know, it's the black, it's gold, and it's white.
Right.
And, you know, it doesn't need to be crazy. It doesn't have to go out of the way to, you know, make it more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it just kind of muddies it up when you have too much shit going on.
Yeah.
It's like this can read from a distance what it is. I like that.
Less is more, especially when it's small kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to shout out our musician outro now because we're just going to play it at the end of the episode. So today we got music by my homie Leo. He's a UC student, does photography and videography, does some really cool stuff, and he also raps. I'm going to be doing, I think, his next album cover. We're still figuring it out. Check him out at his Instagram. It's at call_me_Leo. This track we're going to be playing as an outro. It's called Young Goblin, featuring his buddy Romain, which is at ROMAINMAYA. And we'll link them both on the page and stuff. And this track's super fun. It's just a really fun one.
Yeah, I really dug it when you showed it to me. I was like, okay, fuck yeah, we definitely need to feature this.
Yeah, it's got good energy. That's the vibe. All right, what else? We'll get to the story later. Yeah.
All right, cool. We usually have like a list of like things that we like prompts we can go off of. We usually do the thoughts for the week thing, but I thought about this one this time. What was the favorite thing that you've learned in this past cycle that we did?
Ooh,
so we had what we start off with was the album art.
Yeah,
and then we did the burning crosses.
Yeah,
then we did string theory.
Yes. All right. So album art was fun. I liked learning the stories of covers that I didn't know, because a lot of the stuff I was familiar with or like had seen the cover a lot but didn't know the background. So that was fun. String theory, I probably learned the most and learned just enough to know I don't know much about it.
We're still awaiting your TED Talk.
Oh boy, you're gonna be waiting a while.
Now that's another Patreon content thing we can do in the future is have you re-explain string theory.
Dude, that sounds mortifying. But I think my favorite was Peter Bruys. Is it Bruys? Because
it's Bruys.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite just because for some reason I've thought about him throughout the week the most. Or throughout the month the most. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah.
Keep thinking about this rebel priest.
It's deserves a Netflix documentary or a Netflix original series based on.
Yeah. I was actually just watching one about a bishop. I can't remember. I think it was Guatemala, but he went against the government who committed war crimes, and he was actually like, and he got assassinated for it. And he was actually like a cool dude. And it sucks because the church will always be on both sides of lots of different issues. But I don't know. I still appreciate the stories of like priests or bishops or whatever who fight against some other evil, even if they're a part of an evil. But Peter Bruys particularly stuck with me. What about you?
I honestly, I gotta go with the album art thing. So many of the covers that I looked up, the like ones that I knew that I recognized that I liked, and it's like the shit I learned about like the backstories of some of them, like the Holy Diver thing, the shit about like how they were like kind of on the fence about, you know, like how to make it and how to do it right, and they kind of went like over the top with it at first, and they pulled back, and then people still got pissed off at them, and then Dio said some shit about, you know, we put the right person in the water, kind of thing. Like it's a priest drowning a devil.
Right.
Like that's metal. That's cool. That made me appreciate, that band a lot more.
Yeah, I've never liked Dio, but the cover and the story that goes with it makes them a lot cooler. What else you been thinking about this week?
Well, I can give you one in particular that I can't believe we haven't talked about before we got on here. Just today.
Yeah.
And this is going to date the episode for sure, but just today, the president of Haiti was assassinated.
I know. I've been following it a little bit.
Did you see that apparently there's someone responsible or someone claimed responsibility and said they had something to do with the DEA?
Apparently they dressed as DEA agents.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going on right now because... I was
going to say, this is how world wars start.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is people are saying that we're going to justify it as a reason to get U.S. troops there. And so far, that's not true, but there is the possibility that that option comes up. I just watched last night this soldier who gave the best, he was a veteran, the best anti-war speech I've ever heard. I wanted to show it to you to get your take, but also like, I don't know how we would even cover it because it would have to be like our America episode kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like something to work into a bigger idea because it's like a 3-minute speech or whatever. But it's really good. It's interesting too. His perspective on things.
Yeah, we gotta start doing some background notes on that.
Yeah, because that's gonna
get shit together for that. That's gonna. I feel like that could be at least 2 episodes.
Yeah. So, other thoughts? Where's your head at
for the week? It's mostly into this new house.
The future changes.
Yeah, the future changing. Yeah, stuff like that. Which is good, but it's also it causes a little bit of anxiety because it's like I just showed you on the camera. Like I got almost all my shit's like already packed up.
Right.
Like I can't. That's just how I have to organize my shit that way.
Can't help yourself.
Like even if it's like a day where like I know I'm just going to do housework, I have to make a list.
Yeah.
And then like think about it that way. Otherwise like my head goes crazy because I'm thinking about like, well, what if, and like I'll never get all this done. There's so much shit. But if I put it in a list or if I just, box all the stuff up now, it's like, oh, that was really easy. Like I had most of my shit boxed up in like a matter of hours.
See, that's like a really productive way to be. Do you ever, I'm sure you had, like, have you psychoanalyzed why you might feel that way, or do you think of it more as a positive?
I think of it enough as a positive.
Yeah.
It hasn't really hurt me that much. I attribute it somewhat to a level of anxiety that I get, but it's not enough that it's like crippling in any way.
Right.
It's just, irritating.
Fueling.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
More often than not, it's proven to be an asset to me. It's the kind of thing that like makes me be early or on time for important things, or I'm prepared for whatever the fuck because I make lists and I follow through with it, kind of thing.
I think that's why we have a little bit of a yin yang, because I don't that like I feel stress, but like the level of anxiety about general upcoming things is like not there. Like I have to force, like instead of like feeling like I'm about to move, instead of feeling like, oh shit, I gotta get this, or like the feeling you have, like I need to have everything ready, I'm ready to do it now, let's go. I have to be like, dude, I have to force myself to like, I need to do this, or it's gonna be a huge problem or whatever. I think you have the forward, and it's like anxiety is forward, fears, even if it's like a healthy level of future fears. I get the past depression part more.
Yeah. And I don't remember if it was even on recording that we were talking about this, but you were asking me like, so if you do all that, like packing stuff up and whatever, like, is that gonna help the anxiety? And it's like, yes and no. It's like now it's like everything's packed up and like I'm good to go. But now it's like the anxiety of like just waiting for it to happen.
That would drive me up a tree.
It's almost worse, but at least when I start to think that, I think, but at least when that time comes, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're prepared.
I have a game plan for it.
That's better than not being ready and struggling to care about being ready in a way.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag though. Like, because I think you can be on either end of that spectrum, and depending on how far extreme it is, it could be worse than the opposite, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, people that would feel so overwhelmed about, like, having everything ready, that could be way worse than feeling unmotivated.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I can absolutely see where it would be such a, detriment to not just to your mental health, but like to your ability to do shit. What's the word I'm looking for? Your efficiency.
Yeah, dude.
Just your ability to, tackle and handle large groups of work.
See, like I do the checklists every day now too, and that's my issue is like the motivation stuff. Like I don't want to do anything for days at a time. Like not even like if I'm like feeling super depressed, but just like normal stuff. Like my buddy who I do the landscaping stuff with, he feels good when he's like working or doing something as many hours of the day as possible. And I feel like shitty the more I'm doing stuff. Like the less I'm doing stuff, the better my mental health is.
If I can have at least one full day a week where I don't leave my apartment at all, that's necessary.
Yeah.
That's such a good, healthy thing to have that. Like, barely leave my fucking bedroom.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
it can be like, I don't know, not great sometimes, but I still feel better that way than like running around crazy.
I feel recharged. I feel ready to like go back out afterward.
Yeah.
Like go back to work, this week after I had, my Monday to like chill at home, don't do shit, maybe think about going to the grocery store and then back out of it and I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Kind of thing.
So you got the new place coming. You're all ready to go. You got some sweet plans for when you get in.
Yeah.
Do you feel like once you're in there, those anxieties, like those chill back out and it's back to normal life?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
As soon as I get in there, like immediate chill.
Yeah.
I know there's like a lot of work to do once I get there, but then I'll be there and I can do it.
And that's all like, it's less anxiety and it's more fun because like the importance of like owning a space and making it your own, like that is such like an important thing.
Yeah, I've never lived in a place besides my parents' house where I could paint the walls.
Same. Yeah, it sucks. That is like, cause it's so vital. Like even if like apartments I've had, like even being able to change the small things, like it feels important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking black on black everything.
Yes. Murder it out.
That doesn't, I mean, in theory, that sounds cool.
Yeah, never.
In some rooms, I might be able to get away with it. A murdered out bathroom. You're not going to see blood on the tiles in there.
Black tiles. Oh man.
Black tiles, black grout.
I've seen some cool ones where they do like, because the all black can be a little much sometimes, instead doing like every angle of the room, like where corners meet and like wall to wall, doing like black detailing.
Oh yeah, I can see
like
that.
Doing like black spike drips and shit, where if it makes the whole room like have an aesthetic and have a lot of black, but it's not every wall,
Yeah. So what have your thoughts been for the week?
I don't know, man. I feel, dude, it's weird because I'm like I'm in this space where I kind of care now. And I don't.
I'm sorry about your luck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I just need to be more self-reliant, and I'm close, but I really just want to be doing like the art stuff, you know? But I feel less bothered, like, by, even compared to a couple years ago, I feel so much less bothered by shitty stuff. Like, I feel solid. You know what I mean? Like, even shit that's bad. Like I used to sleep, or I used to pull, like, at least 1 to 2 all-nighters a week for almost a decade, just out of insomnia. And, like, now, like, I pulled those couple all-nighters for that job thing, and they were back-to-back, so I was up for, like, 48 hours. And I was, like, felt pretty fucking shitty, and was, like, real short with, like, Sarah or whatever, like, on edge. And part of that was because I wasn't used to it being that way, like it always was before. But I also felt like I quickly could, like, just accept that's where I was and realize it's not, it's temporary, and it wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, good.
And everything always was a big deal before. I just kind of feel as I feel like I care more, but I feel really apathetic to, like, what's going on still, like, just in my own life in general. So I feel like I'm doing a lot of the things I should be, but I feel really distant from people a lot, or just, like, I don't feel connected in a lot of ways. But I don't feel like it's bad either. It's just kind of, it's like, whatever.
Now, when you say disconnected from people, do you mean, like, just in, like, a social aspect, or, like, mentally?
Like,
you're disconnected?
Mentally or spiritually, like, kind of everything. Like, it kind of, no misgivings about what the world is or my life or whatever, but I just kind of generally feel like things aren't, like, that real or that important, or, like, what I'm doing is, like, going through the motions a bit. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
yeah, I know what you mean on that.
I'm living life, but it's like I don't feel that in touch with what I'm doing, and I normally feel very in. And I think I still do. I still feel very in touch with my emotions, but they just feel very, like, dulled out right now.
Like you said, you're just going through the motions of it.
Yeah.
Of life.
Yeah, it's like, whatever.
Yeah. That part does suck. And
it's not all bad, but
no, I hate to say, but that doesn't really go completely away.
Yeah.
At least I haven't found. Like, the thing that makes it go away is distractions.
Yeah, passion
from that
stuff.
Yeah, things that you're passionate about, and when you do spend time with people, make sure you're focused on that, not on the work bullshit or whatever. But and it's hard to find that balance. But
see, that's what I really, like, only feel like well when I'm creating something. That's, like, the only time I think. Pretty much, like, I don't feel bad all the time, but, like, when I'm making something is when I feel, like, well and, like, happy to be doing what I'm doing.
Right. It's what makes the rest of your time worth it.
Exactly. So I feel like the rest of the time I'm not bad. Like, shit used to be bad. I'm doing okay. But, like, I feel like I'm going through the motions a lot,
Yeah. That was, when I'd have my one day off a week from my last place, I would get, I think I had 2 days off, but the one day off that I would actually go out with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we'd go, to some, stupid restaurant, or, like, go somewhere, like, dope, and, like, drop a bunch of money. It was like, it's the only time that I felt like it was, like, worth it, that I'm, like, putting myself through this bullshit, because, like, I get to, like, go have these cool experiences and do these cool things. And it's like, but then it got to the point where, like, I'm, like, half asleep trying to go through, go to this thing and it's like, I just want to go home and go to bed.
I remember you saying that. You'd be
so fucking exhausted.
That's such a shitty place to be when you really like want to connect with a person, place, whatever, and you're like, I want to so bad, but I'm just so tired from all the bullshit time that I can't enjoy the good time.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
That's poor time management. That's poor life to work life.
It's
management, which isn't really
balance.
It's not a real thing. Yeah.
It's just all like a stupid test of how balanced you can be.
I think I finally, after my 11 years in this industry, I've finally gotten to a place where I have a work and life balance.
This job seems so much better for you with that.
God.
I can
so nice.
You seem like so much more like lighthearted, or like, you feel like
I enjoy the work.
Yeah.
The people I work with aren't all tools, and even like my last place, I enjoyed the people that I, spent the days with, but there was so much that was over top of me that I didn't have any control over.
Right.
And it's like, I'm trying to put Band-Aids on shit while they're, breaking shit down. And it's like, I can't, it just felt like you're fighting an uphill battle the whole time. And it wasn't them too. It was just, we weren't getting money because there wasn't shit coming in. So we weren't growing as a restaurant. And like, now I'm in this area where it's like, I believe in what the business is about, and I enjoy the people I work with, and they, trust and enjoy me. At least it's, feels that way, So my boss says thank you, and you actually you feel that he means it.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Definitely.
So
yeah. When are we getting Trash Cast food truck?
Man, Trash Cast food truck. We just all we do is we show up and we live record a podcast while we're standing in a food truck, and then when people show up, they order. We'll have a menu board, and we might change it up and have different shit on it. But then they order something. They'll ask for like a grilled cheese sandwich, and we're like, "You got it. That'll be $12.50," and they give us $12.50, and then we take one of those paper little trays that you get your little fast food in, and you take that, and we take a bag of trash from the dumpster that was outside the venue, and we just put a couple things out of that and put it in there, and here you are.
Or we only serve cats.
If we get an adoption, we just run an adoption agency out of a food truck.
Oh, that'd be
out of a truck.
Would be a blast, man. I really would love work.
That's how a lot of To Catch a Predator start, isn't it? They're like, hey, come down to my truck. I got a bunch of cats out here.
Dude, I've actually just watched a little doc on that show, and it's like they broke so many fucking laws, and that show was made so recklessly. Like, one person committed suicide during the chase at the end of because they would purposely.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, dude. Like, they did so many reckless things, and like how they recorded evidence, like their methods for entrapping some of those people, like they let like a third of the court cases fell through because of the show.
Damn.
Like, that shit was ridiculous. Super fun to watch, but fuck.
Yeah, see, it's fucked. The court cases didn't go through, but it's I mean, it was good they got put people on blast.
See, that's the tricky part. It's like a moral thing. Like, is catching no pedophiles better than, you know what I mean? Like, you catch some, but you fuck up court cases of other people that legitimately could have been caught. It's like, what's better or worse morally,
Yeah.
It's tricky. I don't know. They should have just recorded the executions of them as they walk in. Gotcha.
You can walk outside, or we have this Kevorkian ass machine over here.
Dr. Deatham.
Do you ever see? I'm sure you've seen the roller coaster that you can ride, and it, like the rhythm that it takes you in. Like it goes up really, really high. And then when you ride it, you have the option to press a button. And if you press the button, then it will continue. But it goes like straight down and into like a bunch of like loops that get smaller and smaller. And it's supposed to like basically like make you die.
No.
In like a humane way.
What?
It's a thing. It was invented, not invented. It was never made. It was just designed.
Was this like a way to like legally let people die?
Yeah. To give them the option if they wanted to.
No, I assume it was never made because like legally there would be...
There's a lot of shit involved in that.
Even if it's the person's choice, you're still designing and building a ride that murders someone.
Yeah.
It's interesting though. I like the idea of it.
It's like the idea was like it's supposed to be like, you know, it's joyous because you're on a fucking roller coaster and it's thrilling and it's an, you know, a way to do it, and it's by their choice. Like, you know, you get to the top and there's a button that they can push, and then they're at the top and they're like,
I pressed the wrong button.
Down.
I pressed the wrong button.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Man, I don't think I'd like to go that way on a ride.
I mean,
like, do you like roller coaster shit?
I super do.
I do too. I like the adrenaline of it, but I wouldn't want to like get G-forced to my death. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not totally against it. I think it's a cool way to go.
I'm all for the choice of it, but oof, I don't want.
I used to be fucking terrified of heights and roller coasters and shit, and it was like maybe 7th grade, and I went with a girl that I was trying to impress to Kings Island.
Changes everything.
Changes everything. She wanted to get on the fucking slingshot thing, where you're in a cage and with the, you know, bungee cord or whatever, and it sends you up flying. And because she was so small, they said, okay, well, you can get on, but you're gonna have to get on with, you know, another solo person. And there was just like this old ass, like gross looking dude.
Oh no.
You know, and then like, I'm not gonna put you on that ride with that dude. So I got on it. Like, okay, I've never ridden like a full roller coaster before, like fucking terrified of rides. And I got on that thing first. And I dug it so much. I fucking loved it.
That's so funny, man.
So I became rode everything at Kings Island multiple times, like in that day. Like, had to do it. Get the fast pass when I go places now.
Yeah. God, that's the way to do it. Man, one of my favorite, it's a goofy one, but one of my favorite memories ever. I didn't think of this one on our memory episode, but favorite memories ever. I took a bunch of sedatives and went to a carnival, and you know that which was like one of my favorite things to do.
That sounds so dope.
I would love being in like slow motion at a carnival. That was the best. But you know that ride where they spin you and you get stuck to the wall and the floor drops?
Yeah.
Just like sedate it out. just stuck to a wall.
Oh my god, you just become part of that wall. That sounds fucking incredible.
And like you get the spins, you know, if you're going hard enough anyway, you're just spinning and you become a wall. Best 3 minutes of my life. I miss carnivals.
And it probably felt a lot longer than that too.
Oh god, it felt forever. I probably rode it 10 times too. I remember eating deep fried Oreos and then throwing them up everywhere.
Deep fried Oreos.
So much fun.
Oh, that's like the pinnacle of what American food is. Like when people, in culinary, thing when they'd ask like, the French style, and there's like, Japanese cuisine and like Asian cuisine. When I was in Canada, we were talking about that, and they were like, so like, what do you think is the most like essential American style food? And like cheeseburgers, I was like, no, deep fried Twinkies. Deep fried Fizzle Winkies is when you take a deep fried Twinkie and you dip it in cola.
Oh shit! The cola feels too much.
Oh, it is. It's awful.
Have you ever done the deep fried butter sticks?
No,
dude.
But I know it's a thing.
Oh my god, I've never tried one. I don't think I could do that in good conscience.
Deep fried mayonnaise bites.
I'm willing to hurt myself in a lot of ways, but I don't think I can do a deep fried butter stick.
Nah, dog. That's just wrong. That's wrong on so many levels.
I was at this restaurant the other day and they had deep fried pickle slices. And I thought that's not.
Oh, deep fried pickles are good.
Yeah, they were out. I was like, how the fuck you out of pickles?
We used to make those at one of the places I worked at. We used to make buttermilk breaded. We made our own pickles, made buttermilk breaded them, and we served them with like 3 different dipping sauces. The fucking dopest pickles. Dopest deep fried pickles.
Any meal that has multiple sauces is a good meal.
Yeah.
That's
like you get your choices, you get the little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can kind of combo, mix them. Maybe get all 3 in one.
It's the best, man.
Yeah. Each bite's a new experience.
Yeah. All right.
Multiple dipping sauces. You say like that's McDonald's. Just ask for one of each of the sauces.
The Burger King chicken fries, not too bad.
Oh, the chicken fries. Oh,
I don't
think I've ever had the chicken fries.
Dude, they're good actually, and they come with different sauces. But Burger King, I don't eat much fast food anymore. But Burger King, particularly, every time I eat it, however their grilling process is, it makes me sick immediately.
Well, that's the thing is they like. I don't know this for fact, but from what I understand, they put like a chemical, not a chemical, but they put like a flavored like thing on the burger that makes it taste more like flame broiled.
Right.
You know? And that like it adds color to it and shit. So there's like all kinds of like sugars and stuff that are going into it and like artificial colorings and shit that'll
I think
fake grill lines on it.
Yeah, I think it tastes better than most of the other places, but I have to shit my pants right away. Every time, dude. No other fast food place does it to me, but Burger King, I know even if I enjoy it, I'm going to feel so sick later.
I don't even remember if that happened the last time I had Burger King or not. White Castles does that to me for sure. I feel like it didn't used to. Yeah, I think it didn't used to as bad when I was younger because I'd had White Castles a lot more often. But after living in Florida for a while and not having White Castles, it's like then I came up here and it's like, oh, I can't have White Castles anymore.
No,
just can't do it.
There's like no excuse to eating White Castles unless you're drunk.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Or you're just a bad person.
Can you imagine? It's like, here's what's wild to me. White Castle serves breakfast.
Yeah, they're known for their coffee.
I know. Which isn't bad. I've gone for the coffee before. But not the food. Yeah. Imagine getting eggs from White Castle.
I can't.
Oh boy.
And if you're up early enough to go to White Castles for breakfast and you choose to go to White Castles, you're a bad person.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, also, like, people are, go crazy about McDonald's breakfast, and I get sick to my stomach every time I've had McDonald's breakfast.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, the most recent time I had it was, like, on my way to work. I was hungry, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to have anything else for the rest of the day if I didn't get something, on the way. And McDonald's happened to be, like, on the route, like, where I turn around, you do a U-turn to get on the fucking 696.
Yeah.
So I stopped at McDonald's and I ate it on my way to work in the car, and I just felt like trash the entire rest of the day.
Yeah. When I do pool stuff, I'm kind of stuck eating whatever my boss wants to get. And I will say Wendy's has a better breakfast than I would have guessed, but like I'd pick them. They do like a potato cheese bowl breakfast, and it's better than the other places, but it's still. They
don't have the breakfast at all the Wendy's locations.
Right. Yeah, it's only
because I remember when they first came out with Wendy's breakfast, specifically because this is back when I used to smoke weed, and we'd be at a boy's house up on Beachmont, and then I think we'd stay up, actually. Me and one of my friends would stay up till like, till whatever, 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'd just walk on up there, up the street to the fucking Burger King or to the Wendy's, get breakfast and walk back with it.
Fuck yeah. That shit's, dude, being awake when the sun comes up, like when you're up all night, it's some good, it does something chemically to your brain.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to change my sleep schedule so that I actually try to go to sleep early enough that I could get up by like 5:30 so that I could see the sunrise when I woke up. Yeah. Kind of thing. And I can't get my brain to do it. I can't turn off that early.
Right. Yeah, I'm turning off. I am going to bed as the sun comes up most nights. And all those fucking chickens and turkeys and pigs next door. Oh my God, dude. It's right as I'm going to bed, the sun starts coming through the window and all the chickens start going. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, boy.
Throwing rocks at my windows at chickens to try to shut them up so I can go to sleep. It's a trip. That's great.
Yeah, that's buck wild. That's pretty funny.
It was like a war zone on 4th of July. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I bet.
Just rat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Are firework places still illegal in Ohio?
No. I don't think they ever were.
Oh, they definitely were when we were kids. We had to go to Indiana to go hit up Phantom Fireworks.
That was a thing. Shit. Now I'm not sure, but I don't think it's not like illegal to set them off though. They keep trying to kick it.
I think it technically is.
Really?
They just don't enforce it on 4th of July.
That might be true. I think Cincinnati
if you're doing it like
legal though. Like I think they recently changed something.
That'd be cool.
Because they were talking about making it illegal. And as stupid as I think most of the fireworks stuff is, it should be legal.
Yeah. Now I can understand if they were like, oh, we're like, we haven't had enough rain lately. So like if you light fireworks, like we're likely going to have a large fire.
It's tricky though, because they could, as soon as they have a one way to justify it, it can expand. Yeah. It's like 9/11,
Yeah. Why can't I bring my fucking bottle of water on the plane?
It's my water bomb.
It's not bomb water. I'll drink it.
Super soaker.
That's a comedian. Some famous comedian said that.
Yeah.
I just realized I stole that joke.
That's all right. You're a professional comedian. Did it better.
I don't think any of our vast audience is going to call me out for it.
They ain't saying much, so it's okay. You quiet motherfuckers.
Hit us up in the emails. Drop us shit on, comment on the Instagram.
Drop us shit at our door.
Yeah. Do that. At least we'll know we're appreciated.
Yeah. All right. What about art, creative shit? What's going on?
I think the most creative thing I've been doing lately is trying to design these fucking rooms in a way I want to.
Yeah.
I made blueprints when we did the inspection. I spent the time I was there to measure out and draw out on graph paper my entire living area, my 2-bedroom area.
Dude, and you looked like an architect.
Yeah,
like, it's fucking good. You knew exactly what you're doing, and I know that's like a time. Like you have limited time in that situation. You're touring a place. You gotta do it up quick. Your shit looked so fucking legit.
It's another one. I had a plan in mind before I even went there, and I was like, how I'm going to do it, and I fucking nailed it. Execute Order 66.
Burns house down during tour.
The whole, I'm thinking I'm going to do the entire, like, attic area. Like, it's like where my living room and my kitchen are going to be. And my new recording studio, it's just like the tiny little alcove office looking thing. We're I'm gonna do all that in black. I was, trying not to, because everyone was like, I've been told all my life, like, oh, don't paint your room black because it'll look smaller. And it's like, a lot more articles I'm reading now are like, that's actually not really true. It's just how you do it.
I think that drip look could be dope, though.
Yeah, so describe that to me, because you said it in the text, and the way I'm picturing it is like a really like high satin, like sheen black.
I knew it wasn't. I feel like that could be really cool, but even a flat black could be cool.
Are you talking about like actually like painting it to look like it's dripping down?
Kinda, but like, all right, here's a shitty sketch. If that's your wall, just a rectangle wall.
Yeah.
If you did, the first thing you do is just paint the whole room black, right?
Yeah.
And then have your color like not like super realistic, but just like some small drips. Like, so it's like a half and half, but you have it like a drip pattern around the room.
Okay.
Make it look like the black room was like candy dipped in your color paint.
Candy dipped
that motherfucking room.
I have to hire an artist who's better than me to come in and make it look dope.
Dude, you do it great.
No.
Yes, you would. You don't need any detail. It literally would just be an outline.
Oh, I'd want, see, if I want to have that, like, I don't want the outline. Like, I don't know about that. If I was going to do it, I want like the like highlights on it and like make it look like
I knew you're going to, but
like a ooze or something.
But less is more. If you have your line work right on the drips, like even if it's like mostly big drip and then you just have a couple perfect line works for some small drips, like even like a cartoony looking style, it could look dope as fuck.
Maybe I'm gonna start with the flat black, and then we'll see where we get from there.
Oh yeah, I think
I got plenty of time. I can fuck with it whenever.
The flat black's gonna be sick as fuck.
But that fucking recording studio is gonna be all like 100% wall to wall, floor to ceiling acoustic foam.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna sound great too.
I am gonna have a couple pieces of art hanging up in it, but amid the shit. But
I think
it's gonna be mostly the acoustic foam.
That spiked mace just hanging. Somebody
just
walks
Steven
into your
suggests that I hang a mace from the fucking center of the room in the ceiling,
like down to waist height too. So somebody asks for the bathroom, and you point the way over, and they walk into a soundproof black room with a mace hanging from the ceiling.
It's the chain's just long enough that it kind of scrapes the wall a little bit when it goes to the side.
What's the name of that game?
Tetherball?
Yeah, it's Death Tetherball Room.
Deathmatch Tetherball.
Yeah.
Getting fucked up.
Paint the walls with the blood. It'd be so much fun. Imagine if you...
Yeah, it would be so much fun.
What if you could make the spike file down the spikes so they'd still hurt, but they wouldn't like fuck you up, and you legit...
I mean, for that matter, you wouldn't even need spikes. You just need like a heavy ball.
That might get too bone crushy. I feel like if you do a light ball with filed down
you put
spikes,
knobs all over it, that's not going to crush your bones.
You could do like full spikes, but like grind down the first inch so they're not going to puncture. And round them out a little bit, and then we could literally play deathmatch tetherball in your attic. Dude, I used to play...
I love how you just keep justifying it. Like, we can totally do this, though.
We don't need a recording studio. We need... we only did it a couple times, but there were a couple guys. It was like the same people that I would do the hexane with.
Okay, yeah.
We would tape a taser, like not a taser, the one you actually have to touch to your skin.
Yeah, the stun gun.
Yeah, we would tape that with duct tape so it stayed on, and then you'd play hot potato. It would be so funny looking because you'd go to bop it and like, yeah.
That does sound funny.
It was very fun.
That sounds like a good time.
It doesn't last long, but
some good laughs.
Yeah, definitely. That shit's
You fucking hot potato.
What was your favorite game? Like, kid game?
Boy, when I was real young, fucking, we used to play the hide and go seek tag in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
After I moved out to the suburbs, we had a little neighborhood we could fuck around in. We used to play that shit in the dark. That was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, as I got older, I don't know, we slapboxed.
Yeah.
We slapboxed a decent amount.
I remember getting hit so hard in slapboxing, all my nose ring like flew out.
Oh.
It was a direct hit. I was never good at it, boxing in general.
No. It was we'd always get to the point where like, this is fun, this isn't fun anymore. And then it was like, okay, we have to stop now.
It quickly crosses that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you hit me really hard, you fuck.
Right.
God damn.
I wrestled for like a year or two and I can scrap a little, but as much as I'd like to be a fighter, it's not what I'm made for.
No, same.
All guys like to think of themselves as fighters, but like,
you want to think that you can defend yourself and you can protect people and shit and like or whatever. And like, no,
yeah,
it's not always true.
Yeah, even if you're ready most of the time, it'll never always be true. Just try to, live up to those moments when they're there. But like, as much as I'd like to be, I know I've spoke about it many times, like create, destroy, overcome. Is like as much as I'd like to be a destroyer, I'm a creator.
Yeah, I agreed.
I want to burn the world, but I'm meant to grow and make shit.
You make things that inspire other people to burn the world.
That is the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's it. It's the goal.
Man, some of those black metal dudes are just musicians in general. When they really like legit put out that energy, man, dude, that shit. Like, I know you have to kind of be a piece of shit, but like, but
they were really some pieces of shit.
Yeah, but like they tell, like, whether it's in your music or directly, like to speak to your fans and encourage them to murder people or kill themselves, like. That's like you're putting some heavy mojo into the world and like potential legal shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have the weight of that.
Yeah, there's an argument that I saw of something. They were defending metal shit because they were like, people were talking shit about like how metal is, they're saying all these horrible things and, causing people to do these things. And like, no. Like if they were like, you see a couple times that fans like do this crazy shit, but like all in all, there's a lot of people that listen to this music and they're not all going out and killing each other and killing themselves because of it. Like, true, it happens, but like, it's not, there are people that listen to all kinds of music that kill people.
Right. See,
so like
that, but like that's purely expression. People who try to put that on like even like hardcore music, like heavier shit, like that's bullshit. Like expression's expression, but like when a musician's form of expression is they are literally telling you to kill or something like that,
true.
That gets pretty fucking heavy because it's like, where's the line with the expression on that?
It's exactly where the listener hears it and they're like, well, that's not outside of the boundaries of the things that I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
To get this person's attention.
There's been a handful of rappers who have been charged with crimes, including murder, when their music or a song was used as evidence. I always find those interesting. Like they write a verse that says a little more than it should. And then,
yeah.
It's kind of rough though. Like I don't know. I still feel like you really shouldn't be able to be charged with that. Like if that's the best evidence they can get on you, that's kind of bullshit.
It depends on Specific it is. If it's basically a taped confession.
But even if it is,
I can see where that's like, I mean, we kind of already suspected that you did this shit, but like you basically just told us that you did this shit. That's like when OJ wrote the book about like, if I had did it.
Right. But even if like it was that obvious, like from an artistic point of view, your whole defense could be, I'm writing from the perspective of the killer. Even if you legit said shit that only the killer would know, it isn't that covered at all in artistic expression?
I don't know about that.
I get that legally, I guess it's not, but in the past, that wasn't enough evidence for a courtroom. You know what I mean? Like these like charges on artists for things they say in their music is a new thing.
Well, I mean, also I think that's changed with the medium changing, where like when you say like that used to not be enough, like how long ago do you mean?
20 years. And there was like, I'm pretty sure the first case of it ever was like maybe 15, 20 years ago. And there's been a small handful of cases since. Like there's a lot of times they've known to investigate because of an album or song, or like the song was somewhat additional evidence. But now there's been a handful of cases where the whole charge is based off a song. They maybe got some circumstantial evidence aside, but they were able to make a case based solely on music.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know.
I guess each case would be different too. Like maybe looking at it as a whole, it seems goofy, but maybe the specific, like it's like the Britney, free Britney stuff. Like maybe like
I haven't followed it enough. I know enough that people are like, oh yeah, that's a fucked up situation, and kind of thing.
Yeah,
and her dad's an asshole or something about that.
Yeah.
That's as much as I really know.
And it's definitely a clearly fucked case. But what a lot of people don't acknowledge is the reality of, as fucked up as it seems like it is, we don't know what happened in the courtroom. It seems like it's a miscarriage of justice, and it might very well be, but things could have been revealed in court, like evidence we're not able to access. You know, like who knows if she had some incident that the family wants to keep private, and it goes to court, and it's a really good reason that she should be in this conservatorship or whatever. You know, we might not know that kind of thing. But it sounds like it's just like fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's always hard when you don't know.
Yeah, that is some bullshit. And that's another one where like it's just, I don't know. I feel like so much of the celebrity news shit is like it's definitely like it's important to know like if someone got taken advantage of and they got fucked over. But like the fact that, I don't know, like so much of the celebrity news bullshit that you see, like it's not news. This is just somebody's life and the wild shit that they did for attention. And I'm not referring to Britney Spears in this one. I'm just referring to, you know, like the fucking Kardashians in general. Or, you know, like any of the shit that you know, the tabloid shit where it's like talking about, you know, these couples that are like their marriage is falling apart. And it's like, who gives a fuck? I don't know those people.
I don't the people who publish it and press those stories are garbage too.
Like, how sad is your life that this is, you know, well, I'm not sure if it's worse if like they know that it's trash and they're still producing it because they know that other people will eat it up, or if they actually believe that this is pertinent information that the world wants to know, the world needs to know.
Man, I saw a recent really good example of this. I watched a documentary on Tiger Woods. Golf is not my thing at all, but his story was fascinating. And, you know, like, all his affairs came out and it was this huge deal, right? Like, I think that's bullshit to begin with, like, from your point of view. That is so fucking stupid for it to even be news, right?
Yeah.
But what was really interesting is, like, 5 years before that all went public, a handful of tabloids had become aware of the type of things he was getting into with prostitutes and shit. So they began following him, and they had video evidence of his affairs. And they even, like, there was a point where he had sex with a woman in a parking lot, and the chick threw her tampon out. And this particular tabloid even collected the tampon.
Oh, no.
As evidence, because it would have DNA, and they put it in a safe, right? And this is 5 years before anything ever came out. And they literally called Tiger's people up, and they said, we have X, Y, and Z proof. And he said, how about I pay X amount of money and do your magazine cover? And they put out a magazine issue of him on their tabloid with a great story about how great he was, instead of exposing him.
Damn.
Because it made them so many millions of dollars. And then after the story breaks, then they could put out the evidence to contribute to the other stories. And it's like, that's the type of shit that goes on behind the scenes with all that celebrity, like any big gossip stories. Like, it's all being bought and sold as like trade secrets. And the guy who wrote the article giving Tiger, like, exposing all of this, he basically was just saying the whole time, he's like, yeah, we're total pieces of shit. We basically just blackmailed him. And it's like,
yeah,
like, you were the dude who wrote it. Like, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you too.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Like you said, it's blackmail.
Yeah. Just social extortion.
Watching someone living that does live in the public eye, but that doesn't mean they need to be followed with cameras. Right.
Like, I do get the idea that some of these people are considered role models, or like their personal lives contradict their image and they don't want that exposed. But like, why the fuck does anybody care who they sleep with? Like, fucking the president, Bill Clinton shit. Like, I understand if things were like sexual assault, rape, any of that, that's very different. But just affairs, like, why the fuck is that an issue for the American people at all? That's an issue for him and his family or whatever to deal with. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Yeah, like, that shit's meant to be personal. But the God says, Stephen. Dude, that's such a huge part of it, though. It really is. Like, they know that people are conflicted, and they're so obsessed about the moral part of it that they need to eat that shit up. Right. And if you, like, that really was your moral point of view, then, like, I don't know, writing it or constantly talking about exposing people, like, it's such a contradiction to it all. Yeah. Like, fucking bogus. I mean, I would imagine being one of those journalists would be fun as fuck. But goddamn, that is a shady way to live. I was about to do something really hypocritical. I was going to say, why can't you just live your life without having to be obsessed with, you live your life right without being obsessed about the people that you think are living it wrong. And then I was going to try to talk about the churches that we were talking about. And I've realized, okay, well, I feel like I live my life right, but I do talk a lot about the people that I think are fucking stupid and wrong. So I had a kind of funny interaction. This guy was actually very supportive of our podcast, but I had shared it with him. And the first thing he said back is, I actually kind of like Andy Warhol. It's like, son of a bitch. He was very kind, but it was kind of a funny way. Well, we gotta let me know his name off thing, and we'll put a hashtag in our thing. Fuck that guy too. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Any feedback is good feedback.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny though. But I think there's a difference definitely with criticizing like the art of a person opposed to the person. Although I do think art is so personal. When you criticize someone's work, you kind of really are criticizing them, but it's still separate from the core of their being in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
Critique.
It's like, when we talk about like, we'd mentioned before, like separating someone's crimes from the thing art that they make. Is like they're a shitty person, but I really like their art. Like, like some of the death metal shit. And it's like,
yeah,
I like some of the things that they did, but I don't like the reasons they did them, or I don't like the, the rest of like their whole shit is fucked. So I think if being able to separate it.
Yeah, and I think if I knew some of those things when I enjoyed most of their work, it would have been harder to get into.
Right.
Just like if you knew the truth about all Michael Jackson shit before he was famous, and then you
wouldn't even bothered.
Right.
Yeah,
it's very different. But I don't know. There's still something about like critique and reviewing are different than attacking the core of a person. But I think like if we're speaking about someone we like legitimately hate, whether it's like politics or like a hashtag fucks XYZ person, like I think like justice is the exception. Like speaking truth to power type shit. Like when it's somebody who does things out of hatred, I feel like there's a certain point where everything is open game, right?
Right.
And it's picking and choosing the right targets can be tricky, but
like publicly exposing white supremacists.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, man, a lot of fucking people.
You can just pull up the staff list at Fox News.
Yeah, just open season, religion, Scientology, Catholic Church, whatever.
And I'm even down. You can make a list of people that are, it's in the, white supremacists, and then people that are like, they're not actively white supremacists, but it's not a deal breaker to them, to who they hang out with. And like,
yeah, open season.
Yeah.
Sucks, man. It's a lot of fucking
hoods people. Off, boys.
It's a lot of fucking people, man. That's the worst really when you get to know someone and then you get like a hint of their true colors, and it's like,
oh man,
like, fuck, dude, you.
It's
suck.
Like, fuck, man, we already had plans for this week, and now I gotta figure out what the fuck I want to do with that.
Dude, when I was in fucking one of my rehabs, I got bunked with someone who I found out later was a kid toucher, and I lived with him for like 6 months, and he played it off so fucking good, and you're like, that's the worst fucking feeling. You're like, oh my god, like you tricked me into like being okay, like to be around your presence for that long, and then to feel you're like, feels like such a betrayal, because people are good at hiding shit too.
Yeah,
when they have to.
Exactly, because they know exactly what's going to happen the minute that people know.
Right.
You fucking get their ass kicked.
Yeah. Do you want to cover anything specific, or do you want to cut to another both depressing but awesome story about the church?
Let's cut on over to it.
Okay. I'll kick that off if you want to.
Please do.
Figure out
my link is still loading anyhow.
So last week we talked about some general church burning stuff with the album art, and then we, as an honorable mention, talked about all the kids in the unmarked graves in Canada, and which is really fucking shitty. But now, as a backlash, so they've found more unmarked graves at other schools, at least one, but there's like over 450 more schools they need to check. So in Canada, there's been a lot of stuff going on in relation to this. People are really fucking angry, both at the Canadian government and the church. And so far, there have been 7 churches that have been burned down and something like 100 that have been vandalized. It even got to the point where, what's the Canadian president's name? That douchebag. The dude that did blackface. Starts with a T.
God damn it.
He's such an idiot. He seems like he'd be cool, and he's like clearly not, and like plays it all off. Trudeau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he condemned the church's past actions or whatever, but things have been so hostile they had to cancel National Canadian Day.
Canada Day.
Yeah, so many people are fucking outraged. These schools were used to forcibly assimilate Indigenous children, and they found like hundreds of unmarked graves of kids that were buried under these schools, and people are burning down the churches.
Yeah. It's insanity that it even happened in the first place, number one.
Right.
Yeah, fucking burn them down, dog.
Yeah, man. I wish I was in Canada.
Fuck all this shit.
Yeah.
It's open season.
Yeah. It was funny. One of the articles actually mentioned this is the biggest series of church burnings since Burzum started burning churches in Europe, because they burnt down 70 churches, black metal people, in Europe in like 10 years or whatever, and now this is like the second biggest wave of church burnings in modern time. I wish I was in Canada, man. I want something to fight for, man. I want to bring out the, I know my truth is the creator route, but I wish I had more destruction. I used to have a lot more destruction, and there's less of it. So I get kind of like hyped up when there's something I feel like I could, a cause worthy enough to deviate course to partake in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I just found a section of this that's worth reading. Sweeping sexual and physical abuses were common, and thousands of children died. According to Canada's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, about 4,100 students were killed at residential schools, but that number is likely to climb. Experts think it's closer to 15,000. More than half of residential schools were run by Catholics who are yet to apologize for their role.
Yeah.
And the last school there didn't close until the 1990s.
Now, honestly, I was not surprised at all by the story in the sense of what happened. I was kind of surprised the story came out because it's not new information. It's not like they just figured out like, oh, kids were buried under these schools. This is not the first time it's ever been discovered. It's just like the biggest degree. And like, there was one school in the U.S., like it's a huge thing in the early days of the U.S., like reform schools for like homeless kids and shit. Like there was one school in the U.S. like that they were found to have abused all of the kids, but they killed thousands over like 20 years or whatever. So there's a ton of schools in the U.S. that have kids buried under, it sounds so conspiracy, but it's like, back then, there were a lot less options, and these places, a lot of the people there may have been trying their best, but it was also a place where predators could easily get away with shit, too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an inevitability that some bad shit happened, but some of the places that were extra bad, it was literally like a processing plant on a child abuse and murder. And they're just now, like, deciding to kind of look into some of these like allegations, stories, info that they have known to be true for a long time.
Right.
So I was kind of surprised, like it like made the story in the sense that it was actually going to go like full public with an investigation, but like it's not new. And there's a ton of it in the US too that may or may not come to light at some point. Spain's really bad with it, church abuse, and it's very well known. somehow they're allowed to keep on functioning. So whoever's fucking burning shit in Canada, hats off to you. I do hope no one innocent is hurt, which is an impossible thing to guarantee, but
right.
That part sucks.
I did see there's another article attached to this one that says that for some Catholics, the residential school graves are the last straw, and a lot of Catholics are saying they feel ashamed of the church.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, I feel like I buy it enough that they're like, this really sucks that it happened, and they're going to continue to move on with it. I once had a conversation with somebody who said that we were talking about like all the atrocities that the church had committed, and they were like, but that happened in the past. And I was like, it's still the same organization though. Like they're not like apologizing for that. Like this is what they stood for. They feel like they stood their ground when they did this. I feel like they did what they were supposed to. It's like, but that happened in the past. It's not happening today. And it's like, it is just, it's different. It's like, it's not like there's not a holy war going on right now with the church, you know, actively seeking, you know, power and killing people. But I mean, like you see this shit happen. Like this is from the last couple, you know, last 100 years or so.
Right. And then the excuses become smaller and smaller, like the level of responsibility. And then it eventually gets to like, yes, that is my religion. That's my, you know, the organization I am a part of, I fuel, but it's not my church. And even if it did, even if, you know, a priest did abuse somebody at my church, I didn't know. We didn't know. That's the actions of one. It's like, dude, you're the fuel for all of it. They
no wouldn't have the power to do that
without you and your money
and get away with it. Yeah, if it wasn't for you.
And there's always an excuse, and the excuses become smaller and smaller until it touches someone in their life. That's always that's when people understand. Like people with like prison reform, with drug abuse, with sexual assault stuff, church abuse, whatever, you know, there's always a reason you weren't part of the problem or why you shouldn't be bothered with it until it affects someone you love, and then it changes very quickly. And it's like, I don't want it to happen to anyone loves, but that's like the only way people understand shit sometimes.
Yeah. You know, it makes me think like, assume just we'll put yourself in a fictional world here where the church is exactly how it is, except for you can say at least the church leaders, you know, your priests and your bishops and whatnot, all of them completely incorrupt. You know, they're all, you know, the best of the best of us.
Yeah.
They are, you know, the people that are, you know, that only want to see the most good and act that way and speak that way.
Sure.
I would hate the church a little bit less if I knew that, like, okay, they have a bunch of backwards points of views and everything, but like these people are all like, they're generally good people and they mean well.
Right.
And it's like, I know that, you know, we're still like, you're pointing at like, you know, I guess of the population of all the priests in the world, you know, how many of them are actually pedophiles, but it's still like, it's such a prominent, you know, thing that's there. And then it gets covered up. Like it's not a big deal, or it's, you know, things that happen that get masked over. It's like, those people need to be excommunicated. They don't need to be involved with the church at all. You know, kind of shit like that. It's like, you don't cover it up and try to like sweep it under the rug.
Right.
Because that makes you, you know, accomplice to the crime.
Well, to your point, that would be taking responsibility for your actions. And recently, the Catholic Church did we read the article, what do you call it when you try to make reparations? They were trying to make reparations to black people and disenfranchised people the church fucked over. They wanted to pay so many millions of dollars, X million, to try to forgive themselves of their past actions. But they were, in theory, taking some responsibility. Now, as stupid as I think what their attempt was to do, because it makes up for none of the things they did. Like, why the fuck with this kid stuff in Canada? Why the fuck aren't they like, hey, that was the past. That was the old church. It was fucked up, but we don't want to be that way today. Like, why the fuck isn't there one statement about that shit? Like,
because that goes against their credence.
It's just never, it just is, it's always, like you said, it's the avoid, like, responsibility route over, like, positive change.
Because they got used to that whole, like, news didn't spread as fast a few hundred years ago, or a couple thousand years ago. So that they could get away with all kinds of shit because they just killed the one person that knew about it. And then
and their sphere of influence isn't bigger than the news anymore, too.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Yeah. As if anyone really needed more reasons to hate the church.
I'll always take one more, though.
just eat it up like a nice amuse-bouche. Just a nice little snack.
I don't know
nice
what that is.
Morsel.
But it's
amuse-bouche is just delicious. It's a little bite of something or a little taste of something you have before like a larger meal.
Little snicky snack.
It's to prepare your palate. The amuse-bouche is to like amuse a palate or amuse your tongue.
Yeah. Now I want to eat some Catholics. With a little amuse-bouche.
A little holy water dipping sauce.
Yeah. All right. What else is good? I know we try to like go out a little more positive.
Yeah. What's good right now?
I feel like the balance is good though. Like, I don't know. It's important shit, right?
It is. It is important to talk about and to bring up and to, be aware of.
Our whole target audience has become like nihilistic atheist fucks.
Yeah. The COVID shit's going down a lot, and at least in Michigan, I know for sure. I think it's going down across the country.
Yeah, I know.
It looks good. I know there's issues in some other countries.
Yeah, which we knew was going to happen because we fucked them over at the start of it. But I know a lot of people are concerned about the Delta variant, but it seems like we're on a pretty good path, right?
Even if they're saying like it's not as, the vaccine isn't as protective against it.
Right.
It's still better than nothing.
Definitely.
It's like even 60% something is a lot better than having nothing at all. It's even like my one of my family members was told that they couldn't have they were told that if they were going to get a shot, they had to get the Johnson & Johnson shot. And that was before, they had to take it off the shelves or whatever. The shelves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they, it was because he had a bunch of heart surgery done. So, they were afraid of like what would happen with the potential side effects of having two different vaccinations. So instead, his doctor told him, just get one of the, whatever other one he got.
Yeah.
You can't have two, you can have the one. And it's still like if he's, 70%, in the clear now, that's still better than not at all.
Definitely. But it's weird. It feels like maybe a lot of people feel differently than me on this, but it feels like it almost didn't exist. It was just like a weird year. Like when you talk to people about time and you haven't seen them for a while, it's like, oh, didn't I see you like a year ago? And then it's like, actually, no, there was that whole year of COVID where no one saw anyone, and it's really been 2 years. It's like this weird void in time,
Mm-hmm.
Do you get that or not really?
It kind of depends.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, I feel like when you say a void in time, I mean, I guess the last year and a half has just been a void in time, but I don't know, it's weird.
It just did not change my life almost at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
The most that it changed is like now when I go into a grocery store and I'm not wearing a mask, I feel weird. I kind of don't feel as weird anymore. But like I walk in and I'm like waiting for somebody to like look at me weird. It's like I'm not an anti-masker. I just got my vaccines.
Yeah.
I have my card on picture on my phone. I can show you.
Yeah.
I do feel weird about that.
At least in Cincy, everybody quit wearing them earlier than probably we should have. So
yeah.
By the time I stopped feeling the need to wear one, it was like super late or whatever. But
I'm literally, I typed in good news into Google. I can't find anything.
Good news.
A huge supply of water is saved from evaporation.
It's not news.
And it's like when solar or something, it won't load the rest of the thing.
You're funny, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to boost it up a little bit, go out on a lighter note.
Yeah, I recently was talking to I was gonna collab with this dude on some apparel stuff, but it got complicated. But I did find I'm looking at some shirt printing models that I want to get. I knew, like, I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but it's so expensive to get a real printer that I could do apparel with.
Oh, yeah.
But man, dude, I want to get into it so bad. I recently did some prints this week. I'm still working on art. It's just way slower than I'd like lately. But I'm chill with it because I can put the time into things. As much time as they deserve, since there's less of a pressure to be as quick with productivity. But I printed a couple prints up this week, and I was really happy with how they turned out. And one of them in particular, I just so badly just wanted to be able to just print up on a shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, I've been wanting to get your artwork on clothing for fucking ever.
I mean, we can always do the websites. It just sucks because it's a roll of the dice. And I think I'm not a perfectionist with most, but with art stuff, it's like just want it to be right.
I agree. I'd rather you have the thing that you have the presentation be the way that you want it to be.
But for stuff we've talked about in the past, we should just go pull the trigger on something online because I'm not going to have the gear anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah. But
that's like a long-term goal. I want to be printing stuff out my own little shop.
Fuck, I gotta design. I gotta start drawing up my t-shirt designs.
That'll be really fun.
That'll be we have to put a deadline on ourselves, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll help?
Yeah, it will. I think like more people are listening, but it's still like a small enough amount that I don't know. I feel like if we do it, we just have to do it for fun instead of a goal, because I don't think my experience, especially with stuff similar to this, has been that the goal won't be achieved. And if we set a date to do it as a fun thing first, I think that we can get into and make happen. You know what I mean?
I want to have at least one drawing done in a month from now.
I say we just plan it out where we just get the shirts, and like, even if it's just on a prep day, like we're recording some other shit, because we can buy a pack of shirts cheap as fuck, and we just like go at it while session.
Are you saying draw directly onto the shirts?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, that sounds awful.
No, dude, we just get some paint markers, little spray paint. Come on, it'll be fun.
Those look terrible. They never look good.
No, all right, you get a dark. You get either. I'll show you some examples of how it could be really cool.
Okay, sell me on it.
Like we looked at the castle base, dude. Spray painting this. Like, we could do something cool. Just some chunky black markers. You know what I mean?
I'm just picturing every t-shirt I've ever drawn on before looks like MS Paint.
Nah, well, like, you know that rat you drew for that Sarah's car? Dude, that on a shirt?
I mean, yeah, but like if it was printed on a shirt.
No, it would look so raw. Just if you paint markered it exactly how it was on that card, it would look so dope.
And are we still going to raffle that one off?
I think so. Or some sort of giveaway or something.
Some kind of giveaway. Yeah. Original art.
Yeah.
Figure out which, we'll ask which one's best.
Yeah. But I'm not opposed to like actually doing a vector design. And because that we know, like unlike my art where it's like photo spectrum of colors, because that's what if it's a line vector, we can get it printed up like great for cheap. Okay.
One of the ones that I want to do is like that is very easy. So yeah, we'll definitely fuck with that.
Yeah. I was also thinking, do we want to go through phases of different music for our intro? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The intro's dope.
I love what John did. I was just wondering, I see how like every see, but if we kept that the same and then did different, whether it was his stuff or what, like I was thinking even other songs of his, but like that 30-second hit the trash cast every so many episodes rotate could be kind of fresh, but. I also like
I'm down with it if we're keeping it John's work.
Okay.
I mean, you could probably convince me otherwise, but I'm definitely down with it if we're keeping John's work.
Cool.
Because I definitely want to support John right out the gate.
It fits our vibe too.
It does.
It was so funny when we figured it out. It's like, we could not stop laughing.
When we figured it out, as you mean like. We were listening to it, and in the background, I just hear you go, trash cast.
And it was over. We knew. So fucking stupid. I love it.
It is fucking great. We fucking cry laughed for like 10 minutes.
Easily. Fuck, man. This was a super chill, slow burn. Is there anything you want to touch on?
No, although I did just find a headline that says Trump allegedly praised Hitler as doing, quote, a lot of good things, says his new book. But we'll get into that another time.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure there's a lot more to that, sentence that's out of context.
I actually am familiar with a little bit of that article. It's so stupid. Okay. What about that art test? Do you want to? Oh
yeah, the art test thing. That was cool.
You want to shout that out?
Yeah. So Steven found this awesome website. It's pretty cool. It's openpsychometrics.org /test/APS. And it shows you a series of images, of art images, and you have the options of picking like which ones that you prefer, and it kind of builds a profile of like what art that you're more into or what you lean towards. And then there's like an extended version of it where you can take, answer some more questions at the end, and they can use it for research. And I think it's a really cool concept. I would say it was mostly accurate to, what I usually like and what I usually prescribe to. Yeah. Even if most of the pieces that they showed weren't things that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like the art I'd like, but there were some aspects I thought they weren't quite 100%, but as a general thing, they nailed artistic taste well. It's APS, it stands for Artistic Preference Scale. So if you Google art, I think it's either art or artistic preference scale. It should be the first website by Open Psychometrics. And it shows like if you lean towards abstract realism, linear, like it shows the different areas of art that you lean into or lean away from, whether your tastes are more masculine or feminine, different elements like that it's just kind of fun, little insight into art shit.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool little concept idea, of something to. Yeah. I always like the personality test, like the Myers-Briggs shit.
Yeah. Do you ever do any Rorschach?
I never have.
Yeah, psychiatrists and stuff don't really use it anymore. I've done a handful of like through doctors or whatever, different personality ones. There's a couple like really official, well, often used ones, but the Rorschach, they don't really, as a general thing, it's not really used, but I've like played around with them, you know?
Now, let me ask you this. When's the last time you looked at some clouds and saw a thing in it?
All the time, man.
There was definitely a period in my life where I realized, wow, I haven't done that in a very long time. And I looked up at some clouds and I thought, I don't see anything. And it really depressed me. But I made an effort to not, completely consciously, but if I'm thinking about it and I take the time to look up at some clouds, I try to find something in it now.
One of the, this is right along with that point. One of the best pieces of advice anyone's ever given me, and it stuck with me a lot. And I don't know if it's great general advice, but when it was said to me, especially at the time it was said, it carried a lot of weight. But it was one of my exes that you knew from school, and she was a very like head in the clouds kind of person. And she had said to me one day,
she saw all kinds of shit.
She did. But she said to me one day, you're always looking at the ground and you need to look up more. And it was like, it's such a simple thing, but it like really stuck in a way. Like I'd be walking around downtown, like not like looking for change, but like
did you mean literally?
It was both. That's what,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was both just literal and symbolic, but there's something to the literal sense when you're looking up more into the sky, imagine, you know what I mean? It leads to the other. That was really good. I like that.
I heard something similar of that kind of advice when I was younger. I don't remember where. It was probably in a movie or a TV show or something that I saw, and it was like talking about how people walk around with their heads down or whatever. And I realized like I absolutely do that. Yeah. And I definitely think I'm much, much better about it now that I'm older. But definitely as like a, young adult, late teens or whatever, I was awful about that.
Yeah. And it feels so much better when you're up, looking up. Man, the other day I pulled in, that field that I have like crazy neighbors with all the animals on one side and this field that the city never cuts on the other. And it's like 6 foot tall weeds. And it's so ridiculous. They finally cut it like a couple weeks back. And I came home one night and dude, there were just hundreds and hundreds of lightning bugs.
Nice.
It was so cool. Pretty. And I was like, it's so cool. Those little fucking moments make all the dumb shit more worthwhile. Finding something pretty in the clouds or whatever.
It's weird. Like I was watching the big thunderstorm we had here earlier that like almost knocked our power out a few times. It was flickering on and off for about 8 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it just it was just the sheer volume of rain and the wind and the lightning and shit. And it's like I love a good thunderstorm, something like that to appreciate, like just to stop and watch and all the power of it, like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and like there was hail the size of quarters and shit. Like it was fucked.
It's so cool though.
And then it was over. And then like within like 15 minutes between like it's, hailing shit right now. And then like 15 minutes later, the sun's coming out. Oh, what's up, Grisha?
She's saying hi. She makes
She's popping on the podcast.
She slept on my neck last night.
Nice. That's
like,
cute.
Literally just rolling on my neck all night. She's cuddling up. It was funny. Well,
that's what kitties are for.
Definitely. I don't know about you. I think that's a better place to leave it for today. Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah. Thanks again for listening, everybody. And thank you to Approaching Human for the use of his music. You can find his work on SoundCloud at Approaching-Human. Make sure to check the show page at Trashcast on Instagram for news and arts from the show. Check out the Facebook page, also Trashcast.
Yep. If you're super bored, you can check out my trashy art on Instagram at Skyzix, SKYZICX. Thank you to, we saw the cool pins by Strike Gently. Check out the church stories going on in Canada. And then thank you to our homie Leo and his buddy Romaine. We're going to play their stuff in a minute. Tune in next Wednesday for our art episode. We're going to talk. I got some fun ideas.
All right, cool.
And that's going to be all for us today. Go fast, eat trash.
Stay classy, eat trashy.
And now, Young Goblin by Leo featuring Romaine. And we'll share those links on the page. See you guys.
Okay, let's go. I often not find myself slowly breaking down. One shall not test my health and try to take my crown. Once I fall through it all, I'ma make a sound. I'm chasing out, ayy. I'm hunting out, ayy. Young goblin, ayy. Where the hell you been? Got too much on your mind, yet you never try to sin. Young goblin, ayy. You gotta fill 'em in. Trying to take control, but you always giving in. I'm an antisocial pessimist. Never did I mess with this. Flow so cold, the art I give. Wonder how I conjured this. Never was I talkative. Never can I filter this. Honest till the death of this. But now you're talking parliaments is dominance. Cause I'm ruling now. You don't wanna best me for my holy crown. You don't wanna kick me when I'm falling down. You can't take the weight of my lonely crown. Young goblin, ayy. Y'all been waiting now. Young goblin, ayy. Yeah, I'm ready now.
Let's go. We got too many slabs, better watch out. Ayy, Vinny, Vici, when we pop up, we rollin'. Young goblin, I'm only heading for the top. Now I'm out of options. Ayy, check, yeah, she wanna hang with me. Ayy, ball like 23. Ayy, can't see eye to eye. I'm in a different league. Oh please, young boy, he OP. So ripper with a bunk guy. Yo, better not test me. Here we go. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest of them all? Ayy, I just wanna get the bass jumping like it's super hot. Me and Tenzo back to back. Yeah, bro, it's super hot. Ayy, young goblin. Ayy, I heard you never break a promise. Yeah, that's me. Ayy, young goblin. Ayy, will you pull up to the function? Yeah, we here. Yeah, we here.
I often not find myself slowly breaking down. One shall not test my health and try to take my crown. Once I fall through it all, I'ma make a sound. I'm chasing out, ayy. I'm hunting out, young goblin. Where the hell you been? Got too much on your mind, yet you never try to sin. Young goblin, you gotta fill 'em in. Trying to take control, but you always giving in. 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 But you always giving in, young goblin.